Yes, Paolo, this is for you. President of Serbia, Aleksandar Vučić, on Saturday announced he had a phone conversation with President von der Leyen. This was not confirmed by Madame von der Leyen in social media, although it's the same day when she confirmed she had spoken to Prime Minister of Singapore, for example. Could you confirm this conversation took place, and what were the topics that were discussed on Saturday afternoon during the long weekend here in Europe? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I can confirm that indeed there was a phone call between President von der Leyen and President Vučić, and the discussion focused on the upcoming Western Balkan Summit in June, as well as the current state of play of reforms in relation to the EU accession and the Western Balkans growth plan. And in this context, President von der Leyen reaffirmed our commitment to supporting Serbia in advancing along its EU path, and we remain fully committed and engaged in supporting Serbia's progress towards EU's accession. So that, in a nutshell, the outcome of the call this weekend. Yes, follow-up.
Sorry for the follow-up, but usually President von der Leyen announces, or her team announces in the social media, the contacts that she does with various interlocutors. Why this was missing? Also, were there any talks about confirmed backsliding in the area of rule of law in Serbia, which is the reason that Serbia is still not receiving the money from the growth plan? And the momentum when this conversation took place was very serious for the President Vučić himself because of the heinous crime that happened in Belgrade when his former advisor lured a member of a criminal gang in a restaurant owned by brother of President of Serbia, executed him in the cold blood, removed the body, and in the same restaurant, member of government just had lunch the day after, and this body has not still been found. It's the biggest news in Serbia since last Friday. What does this say about the momentum when President von der Leyen spoke to President Vučić about various reforms, accession, but I didn't hear from you that the issue of rule of law, crime, fight against corruption or organized crime was not tackled, or am I mistaken?
So I gave you an indication of what was discussed in the telephone call. We don't go into details. So that's what I can report from the phone call that took place between the two presidents this weekend. Yeah.
Thank you. Augustini from Jutarnji list. Did President von der Leyen spoke with any other leader from the Western Balkans regarding upcoming summit in Montenegro, or this is just a privilege that President of Serbia, Vučić, has because of personal good relations with President von der Leyen? Is this conversation maybe in order to convince Vučić to come to this summit because Serbia boycotted the last EU Western Balkan summit, as well as Vučić boycotted the celebration of the anniversary of Montenegrin independence? So, or is President von der Leyen planning to speak with other leaders from the region as well?
Thank you. I would not exclude that the President will speak to other leaders of the Western Balkans in the run-up to the Western Balkans summit, indeed. Yeah.